Alright, hope everybody's doing well. This is day 2 of the book sale, and a lot of people say, well, if you went yesterday, why do you need to go back again? There's several reasons. Where the prices are cheaper, the books gets moved around, there was still plenty of stuff to look at, CDs were only 25 cents. I had no idea what the prices were going to be. They were not listed, it's different, slightly different each year. Last year they had a little invitation to buy the bags early last year, the $5 a sack. I might get there, but I really looked at every single book and I didn't see anything that I had to take home. There was a lot of big picture books, large art coffee table books. Some of them had no substance. There was just really nothing great. There was tons of DVDs, but I donated a lot of them. Stuff had already been there, done that, seen that. I'm not looking to collect a lot of DVDs. I left on a lot of autographs, even at $1 for these books. I left a lot of those. They're just nothing special. There was one that was owned by a local artist, and my dad had bought a piece of his artwork, a local artist, nice person. I've met him before. That was his book, and it was signed by the author, and then it was dedicated to the wife, and the wife had autographed it, and then the author had autographed it twice. And it was just a book an old man wrote, and I had no want for it, so I left it, as interesting as it was. And I gifted a bunch of these types of books to John Snyder, who used to be on YouTube back in the day. If you remember him, put down in the comments. You remember John Snyder. He an autograph collector and that TTM or that kind of stuff. And John had some medical issues. Being a paraplegic, it's not really easy on him to make videos. I hadn't known that for like the first X amount of year or two that I had watched his videos. I had no idea. I just thought he had a fancy computer chair. But anyway, so I will show you in no particular order what I grabbed and why I grabbed it. Here's Where She Was, Anderson Farrell, a novel. The light is not going to be great here at this time of day here. I don't know if that's fading. It looks like partial fading of the book. It's all green here, but it's all brown here. That might have been partially on purpose there. It's very possible. But there's some greening around the edges here too, so it could have been. But anyway, Anderson Farrell has autographed it. And a lot of books had these clipped corners here. Tons of them had clipped corners. Tons of books also had the first page clipped out of the book. This end page. I don't know whether somebody was wrote their name on it. There was a lot of books with happy face stamps in the corner. So there were some that came from big collections. People donated their entire libraries. I don't know what this was about here. We don't need to really worry about that. You can look that up here. And Anderson Farrell, and it says Anderson Farrell, December 5th, 1985, New York City, Where She Was. So that's a book there. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out something, Stealing Harvest, Cleo Lewis, let's see, something about mysteries for Where She Was, a novel whose force has its engine not in what it makes us think, but in what it makes us inescapably, unforgettably feel. That's a bunch of, I don't know. He's a native of North Carolina. For some years made his living around horses, principally a show jumper. So who knows? Who the heck knows? And there's Anderson Farrell right there. Why does it say New York City? Maybe that's where he's promoting his book. We got a DVD here. We got Ken Burns' America Collection, Huey Long. So I don't know if that's a standalone or part of a set there. Don't know, but I grabbed as many PBS I can. There were still some left, but one looked like it was kind of whatever. So I grabbed that one there. So it's a Ken Burns one about Huey Long. Then we got a few more, we got some CDs here, and they were like 25 cents. A lot of these I throw in for $1, or I gift them off to people who, deserve a CD. So we have Tootie, Beethoven, a collector's edition CD. Then we have Elton John's Tumbleweed Connection. I think Zombie Collector already has this one, but it's got Burned Down the Mission. Couldn't believe that was still there. But a lot of people look with they don't look with their eyes, They look, with their, it just doesn't make sense. Here's Bach Complete Sonatas and Partitas for Solo Violin, two-disc CD. Some of these classical music ones can be super valuable if you hit the right one. I don't think I hit any of them. Here's another that's Tootie CD, Tchaikovsky of some kind. Oops, I think that's Tchaikovsky. Then we have another one of those, Mozart, EMI Classics. That's from, that movie, I can't think of it, not Amadeus, you know what I mean. Yeah, Amadeus, I think, with, what's his name? I can't think of the actor's name right now. So there's that one there. Then we have another one. It's this DDD or whatever it is. I don't know exactly what that is, but Digital Masters, Beethoven Symphony Number 9, Michael Tilson Thomas, some sort of music or vocal CD there. Then we have Walt Disney World Millennium Celebration. That's kind of an unusual one to find, especially out this way here. This actually has a little bit of value, I think. Disney collectors will really want that. Then we got 3 more here. We have Preservation Hall Jazz Band. My dad liked them. I think he actually saw them back in the day. He had a record of those. So there's that one there. We have Beethoven Symphonies Number 5 and Schubert Symphony Number 9, Number 8 unfinished. I'm sorry. And then we have Bonnie Tyler Super Hits. It's got Total Eclipse of the Heart, and it's also got Faster Than the Speed of Night. I like that one. There's my reflection there, if in case you care. Again, the lighting here is just absolutely atrocious at this time of day. There's my keyboard. So there's most of the recordings and stuff, and there might be a few DVDs. There's another couple more DVDs here. Dragnet, 22 episodes, 9 hours. This is an Echo Bridge. Don't know why I grabbed it. My name is Friday. I'm a cop. I'm a cop, you idiot. Detective John Kimball. No, I'm kidding. That's the wrong... anyway, I don't know. It was 50 cents. I figured might as well. I have some other Dragnet, but this is probably just random Dragnet episodes that are just not even digitally or whatever. I like to grab these Reading Rainbow ones. I don't know how old this was. This got some crud on the DVD, but I think I can clean it. It says Man's Best Friend, Martha Speaks. The classic children's series that brings great books to life. So that's kind of cool there. Again, it includes 2 favorite episodes. And these things are not cheap. You get like 1 or 2 episodes per disc. And there's just mostly dirt and fingerprints, so it'll probably play just fine. But these are like $10 or so through PBS. So that's why I grabbed that one there. Now we get to a few more books here, and we're all going to be all done. Not very much at all. So we grabbed this one here, JP Jim Fowler, Mr. Coach. I have absolutely no idea what the heck this is. So I don't know what Mr. Coach is. JP Jim Fowler right there. JP Jim Fowler is a 3rd generation Oregonian. He and his wife have 2 children, 4 grandchildren. An avid baseball fan, he played youth baseball and coached youth baseball teams for 13 years. He's now retired from the plumbing industry. I forgot that I had this book. I mean, it was probably 50 cents because it's paperback. To James, enjoy. J.P. Fowler. I do know somebody named James, so you never know. I might give that to that person named... I have no idea. If your name is James, and you really want this book on Mr. Coach, who knows? That maybe. Then we got this one here. Mom, There's a Pig in My Bed. And no, it's not about the former president. Francis Lands wrote that. I like these vintage 90s type paperbacks. Sometimes I usually get those. If the author is still alive, I'll try to get them to autograph it if possible. And if not, then I just throw them in my nieces and nephews' book and or box for Christmas, and and then they can fight over that. But this one is copyright 1992. Just, these kind of a more vintagey style books here. So there was nothing in the kids' books. Shouldn't even, just the title just grabbed me. And then we have Jim DeFelice, New York Times best-selling author of Threat Level Black. And this is Leopard's Kill, Gritty and Tough, Sizzling Journey, Stephen Kuntz. So Stephen Kuntz, in fact, I got a Stephen Kuntz book earlier, and I went through every other book. When I got to the inspirational and all, anyway, Jim DeFelice has autographed that supposedly right there. Quite the signature there, and you can tell it's bled through here, the paper here. Almost went through the paper. So that was interesting to grab that one. The Donald Trump books were still there. They were just nicely stowed away. Just tons of stuff, but it was much quieter today than yesterday. Screaming children, all kinds of distractions, very chaotic, people grabbing this, that, and the other thing, but the booksellers were not there in great force. There just wasn't, it just wasn't the same book sale, and they're going to only have, one. So if they're not going to have one in next year, I mean, until the next October. That'll give them more chance to get more books, but I don't know. Maybe people just were not donating as I really don't know. A lot of my books are going elsewhere, so I didn't have as many books. I was dumping them off at another thrift store. But still, a lot of the books that I saw there were ones I donated. And there's no sense in me grabbing those. Again, it was not too hot in the building there, but when I got outside, just roasting. And we're just not used to these 80+ degree days in October. Closer to 70 or 60. That's more doable. But I can deal with the CDs. That's something. I will watch the DVDs one of these times. I will choose whether to keep these books or not. Again, today wasn't so great with the books. Yesterday was fine. And everything that I saw yesterday that I semi-wanted was still there. And I bought none of that. I just basically said, I just can't be buying autographs of anybody. I think there was another 5 autographs I left behind. And I looked at probably a good 35% of all the books there, which just doesn't seem like a lot. But it's quite a number of them. And like I said, I like to buy the Chapter Kids books, and there weren't so many of those. There was just, the quality just wasn't there. So I had to be very, very careful. Tons of David Baldacci, tons of those big popular Dean Koontz and that sort of stuff. Not so much with the Mary Higgins Clark. There's a lot of popular authors that weren't there. But again, lots of David Baldacci and none of the big names other than that one Stephen Koontz. And the funny thing was all the books I grabbed yesterday, the Koontz book, and then the other ones, the Pappy Boyington, there were several people that were after it. One of the guys working at the event said, "Oh, do you know what you have there?" And I said, yes, I kind of do know what I have. I didn't want to let on how good I had it. The Boyington books look like people are listing them between $60 and $200. And I couldn't tell you if any of them sold. They would probably sell at half of the $60 very quickly. Probably that $20 offer was probably a really good one. But that was crazy the guy left the second book back. Maybe he didn't see the autograph and he saw the cutout there and said, oh darn, and threw it back because of dust jacket. But again, that could be turned into a matte piece. That's what I was banking on some of these junkier books. Do them into matte pieces. But if nobody knows who you are, you just wrote a book because it was one of your life's ambitions to finally write a book. Those are the kind of people that I should leave behind here. Just the popular authors and the people that other people might have an interest in. And that's what I got. So again, I was very careful. I didn't find any books on France. Or, I didn't find... I have other people that I look for, and I didn't find any of their favorite kind of books. Nothing. So it was a blessing and a curse at the same time. So I'll be done talking in just a second here. But again, I got things that I can deal with fairly easily. I can clean up the CDs, DVDs. I'm going to have probably dinner right now and get a cool drink here because it is just a zillion degrees up here, and hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you participate in any book sales because I think it's worth it to at least check and see what they have, because a lot of people are turned away saying, well, they're just all ex-library. And that's further from the truth. The majority of the books there were not ex-library. That was a crazy thing. I gotta say a good 65% of them were not ex-library, and most of the DVDs as well. But a lot of the ex-library stuff was in very, very good condition. There was not a lot of really bad condition books this time. So that is what I have for you, and let me know in the comments or whatever if you had a favorite in the video, and thank you for watching.